What's up YouTube? Welcome back to Hawaii. Today I'm going to be doing a 1-year review on this ESAB Sentinel A50. This is like their pride and joy. It seems like they're always marketing it, saying how great it is, and seems like a lot of people like it. But I'm going to give you my honest opinion, tell you the good and the bad and the ugly. Okay, so first I'm going to go over just my general feelings about it. I like the hood. It feels light on your head. I really like the headgear. It's the most comfortable headgear I've worn. That's compared to, you know, something like this, the classic design. You really can wear this hood all day. I really like this feature. It kind of lets it sit on your head. It's kind of on a pivot, this part that goes on the back of your head. You can see that there, right by the adjuster. It pivots, so it really forms to your head and is really nice, along with this nice padded piece. Funny thing is I was actually going to do this review last week. I've had this thing for about a year and it never gave me any problems, and I always thought, you know, since it has all these electronics in it, that working where I work in a mine, it was going to break really quick. You know, I have to work in the rain a lot, and I figured, you know, I'm just gonna ride it off. It's gonna break eventually. But I was really surprised, and that's why I really wanted to do this review. And I was gonna say, man, it doesn't even get affected by water like you would think, and all this stuff. But after a year, I did a no-no, and I was up on a piece of equipment and left it in a bucket. I thought it was out of the rain, but the rain started blowing in. Here in Hawaii, we have lots of big storms. The rain started blowing in and filled up my bucket with, you know, a couple inches of water. You know, this wasn't underwater, but it fried it. I think it's more for indoor use. Okay guys, so I'm just gonna start out by giving, you know, a little bit of a general opinion about this hood, and then I'll get into some of the features and what I like and don't like. So first off, I want to say this hood is very comfortable on the head. You know, it feels really nice in the hand. But really, this headgear is real nice. I think they call it a halo headgear. This adjusts, it forms real nice to your head. You know, you have all these adjustments up here to, you know, really form fit it, and you even have another one down on the inside. As you can see, I have used this helmet for the year that I've had it. Second thing I really like about it is the way it sits on the headgear. It really doesn't stick up very much when you flip up your hood. It really forms right to your head. And you know, it only adds a couple inches instead of, you know, having a big old hood sticking straight up and always getting horse collared on everything. And so that's really nice about it. Just to show you the comparison of the headgear, this is the headgear on my speed glass. So real basic, and you know, it's not very comfortable. I mean, after all day of this squeezing, you know, you might start going a little bit crazy. Something I'll get into later is this cover lens, and this is one of those things that's kind of their pride and joy. You know, I think their marketing department kind of exaggerated, at least when they originally put this out. I'm gonna look at their website before I post this video and see if they're still claiming that this is, you know, really scratch resistant, because as you can see, it's not really. That's probably only a week and a half old. Granted, I'm not in the shop, which I think they kind of designed this hood for, but you know, a hood shouldn't look like that. A lens shouldn't really look like that after a couple weeks. You know, that's real bad, and you know, that whole great visibility that they marketed kind of goes down the drain as soon as you start getting scratches on this, because it's really exaggerated, and we're going to come back to this lens. Okay, so now I'm going to start going through all of the features that they kind of market and give my honest opinion on them. The first thing that they really try to push is, you know, the streamlined shell design. You know, it looks pretty cool. I got this hood when I was actually still in school, right at the tail end of when I was going to welding school, and you know, I was the first guy to have it at my school, and you know, everyone thought it was so cool. The first day I welded with it, I was doing aluminum MIG and just destroyed the cover lens on it, and everyone was, oh man. But that's besides the point. You know, it does look kind of cool, you know, kind of space helmet, you know, you got your weird transformer, you know, lines on it and all that. You go on the inside and there's this pocket for your respirator to fit in, and I usually just wear the pancake style 3M when I need it. And that fits fine in there, so those really low profile ones will do great. So back to the Streamlined Shell design. You know, it looks cool, but it's really wide. It doesn't really show how wide it is, especially when you put it on. It gets even wider a little bit. It's extremely wide compared to, you know, something like this. You know, you can completely hide this whole hood behind this one. So you're trying to squeeze through something, and you know, every time you squeeze this hood, it'll pop off your head actually and end up sitting, you know, falling off, or you know, sitting on top of your head in a really weird position. So that's something I really don't like about it, is how wide it is. Also, if you're laying down and you lay on the side of your head, it will pop off because it has so much flex to it. You know, it really flexes and it'll just pop right off, and that is super annoying because you kind of have to keep your head up and kill your neck unless your hood will fall off, which I really hate. I apologize, you guys. The grind mode button keeps falling out because I actually took the screw out of it when I fried it the other day. I've been having it sit in rice, and it actually, after about a week, I tried it out and works fine again. So the next thing they really like to market is the headgear, and I already kind of talked about that. You know, it is really comfortable, 5-point, and there's actually a lot of adjustability on it. I'm gonna try to show you guys that. So this front headband actually swivels. You can see that, so that can really get a good form to your head, especially if you like to wear a cap or whatever. I don't like to wear a cap, but you know, in kind of a lot of weird positions, you can swivel that. Same thing with this back part. This swivels, which is real nice. I really like the tension knob here. Real nice feel when it's on your head, and it snugs down real nicely. Again, all of these actually, I have issues with them because a lot of the time these will kind of pop off like that when you're welding and sort of stick up, and when you go to flip up your hood, it'll catch, and that can be kind of annoying, but that doesn't happen too much. I actually put tape around them to stop it, but no big deal really. Okay, so now, you know, this is something they really push, is their spherical front cover lens, which to me is the most annoying thing about this hood. This is the thing that I hate the most about it. I wish they would have just put a regular recessed lens in it. That's why most hoods you see, they have a kind of like a bezel around it. So when you can go like this, it won't touch the lens. This, you go to set it down, that's where it automatically rolls, and that just rolling like that actually scratches the lens, even on a somewhat clean surface. Soft stuff will scratch it. It's ridiculous. I remember before I bought this, they were marketing it as the most durable lens ever created, and you know how amazing it is, and even though it's like this, it's not gonna scratch and all that. These are the weakest cover lenses I've ever seen. Terrible cover lenses. And then when they first came out, they were charging something like 24 bucks for a 10-pack of the clear ones. They sell these amber ones for even more, and I'll break into that and kind of show you the clarity of it, because I don't think it's really fair to show the clarity with this nasty lens. I'm just gonna gently run it across, and see, it just digs right in. There's just this display button here that turns it on. It lasts a couple seconds on. You know, you got your grind mode, sensitivity, delay. So sensitivity will adjust, you know, how bright does it need to be before it turns on. So if you're around a lot of other people welding and, you know, you don't want it always going on for their arc, or, you know, you're outside and the sun's setting it off, you can turn the sensitivity up and it won't turn on unnecessarily unless you want it to. Delay, just how long after the arc stops, it'll stay on. So if you're doing, say, aluminum MIG, the puddle is still molten after you're done welding, and it's really bright and can still cause damage to your eye. So you turn the delay up so it waits a couple seconds after you're done welding to lighten back up so you don't fry your eyes. Okay, so I just found something weird. Since I fried it, my shade isn't gonna adjust. I can adjust the sensitivity right there. Can adjust the delay, can adjust the memory, but not the shade. So I can't really show off the memory function without the shade function. The shade, how the shade is supposed to work, you see this 9 through 13, that's your shades 9 through 13 you can set. And then there's also another function, you would tap on the 9 through 13 and it won't let me change it. It would go 5 through 9, I believe, or 4 through 9. And you can adjust through there. So there's a high range and a low range. I don't really know why it needs to do that, but I guess it's just to make adjustment quicker. The preset's cool because you can, you know, have a bunch of different processes set up. So for TIG, if you want, you know, a shade 8, or, you know, you're going to stick, you want a shade 10, you're going to MIG, you want a shade 11, and then you're doing aluminum and you want a shade 13, you know, all that, you can set that up to 8. So these would be the presets that you would go through, and you could just click set on it. It would go to memory 5. Oh, you know, I want to do a different process. You go down to 3, you know, and all your sensitivity, and you program your sensitivity, you know, delay, and your shade to that specific preset, and you can switch to it just by hitting, you know, the same button a couple times instead of resetting everything and having to go back, which is really cool. You can also cut with this on a shade 5, which, you know, is nice. I don't really like to cut with the hood on. I'd much prefer just glasses. I don't like using a hood. Seems a bit much. So that's the electronics of it. Pretty straightforward. Oh, the other thing is it has 4 light sensors. Hardly ever will this hood shut off on me, no matter how tight of a spot I'm in. It won't lighten back up, which is really cool. I really like that. You know, your hand won't get in the way when you're TIG welding, all that kind of stuff, which is real nice. You know, you're looking around a weird corner and, you know, your hood brightens up and you're kind of welding blind, and, you know, you never want that. So that's a good feature, is the 4 sensors. Another thing that I've noticed about this hood is that it doesn't really fog up very much. You know, even in a tight spot, I guess it's just the aerodynamics of it or whatever, but your breath doesn't really fog it up. The only way it'll fog up is if you're in a real tight spot, your clothes are soaking wet and you're breathing heavy and it's getting warm in there from the welding. That's really the only way. Alright, so now I'm going to try to show the clarity. I'm going to change the cover lens in order to, you know, kind of help the camera focus, and I'll see if I can get an arc shot or two with it. Okay, so there's the arc shot. The camera doesn't really do it justice, you know, it's really hard to see, but I will tell you this, when you're welding with this hood, with the new cover lens at least, you can really see very clearly. You know, if you're welding here, you know, you can actually see the true colors of everything around, which is kind of cool. You know, you can really see a soapstone line if you're hard facing or whatnot. You know, you can actually see colors in the background, and also the somewhat true color of the arc. It's not a green color. It's, you know, that nice, you know, white, blue, red, and yellow color, which is really cool. It really helps with temperature control and everything, and I think it would be really great for TIG. I don't claim to be a TIG welder or anything, but it's very clear. Also, the camera, as soon as I hit record, it kind of darkens. I don't know why that is, if it's just automatically adjusting for the light. But looking through it when there's no shade on it, it's actually clearer than the camera shows up. It's brighter. It's kind of funny because on their website, you know, there's reviews of guys saying, oh, you know, I didn't lift up my hood a single time all day and all. Man, I lift up my hood no matter how clear it is. I don't care. I mean, it strains my eyes. I don't know why. I lift up my safety glasses, even clear ones. So I don't really know what that's all about, you know. Oh, I never lift up my hood because it's so clear. I think that's kind of a crock. That's another thing that is kind of bad about this hood. Since it's so wide, if you're in the sun, it really lets a lot of light in and kind of reflects on the lens. That's why those pipeline guys wear those nice pancakes. Well guys, I hope that you liked this video. I hope it kind of gave you some insight if you're thinking about buying this. Also, if you have this hood and you have any other things you like or don't like, or think that I completely made up and I'm full of shit, leave it down below. I'd love to hear your shit. Yeah, so all in all, I think it's a great hood. I think it's more for shop use. I work in a mine, so you know, it really gets banged around and abused. So I personally, if you work in that field or you plan on going to that field, you're in school right now and you want to buy a new hood before you graduate or whatever, I don't know if I would recommend this. I would definitely recommend it for a shop. No questions asked. It's really good visibility, really great. The quick adjustments for the shades if you're, you know, doing multi-process work. But you know, it has its pitfalls, and that would definitely be the cover lens being the main one. You know, it's junk. When I first was gonna buy this, I heard from a guy, I never read anything about it, but he swore up and down that they were gonna make a Pyrex lens for this that you never have to replace, but that was never true. You know, I believe the guy for some reason. I don't know why. But no, they don't have the Pyrex lens or anything. I think that would be really cool if someone could make that though and maybe sell it. That would be nice. I don't know how fragile it would be, or you know, just something a little bit more strong than this. It's not very scratch resistant. All right guys, so that wraps it up for this ESAB Sentinel A50. I hope you liked it. I hope it helped. You can check out my other stuff and have a good one. See ya. Thanks for watching.